My name is Mary Huls. I know most of you. I'm a candidate right here in the Webster-Clear Lake area for Texas House of Representatives. And I just wanted to talk to you just for a couple of minutes and give you a little better sense of me. You know, as I considered whether or not I was going to run, I was always asked, why do you want to run for office? Why do you want to do that? So, why do I want to be a candidate? You know, it's because I care, and I care about Texas. I care about America, and I care about what's happening to this great nation that we live in. It matters to me what kind of life that we leave behind for our children and grandchildren. We must make a stand right now. Yes. And because I care, I'm an activist. Many of you know I'm an executive board member of the Clear Lake Tea Party. Dale and I travel all around Texas. We train volunteers to be a watchdog for the Texas legislature. We work with groups everywhere in Texas. We've driven 50,000 miles in the last couple of years. So we're involved and we know what's going on. We do travel to Austin. And we go there we talk to the legislatures. We try to get them to do what's right for Texas, to do what's right for the taxpayers. And you know what? They stand in their plush offices. And actually, my opponent told us, you know, how I vote really is none of your business. I don't think that's true. I think that we are the boss. We are the boss of these elected officials, and how they vote is damn sure a part of our business. You know, speaking about the last legislative session, it was really one of missed opportunities. Activists worked all around Texas to give us a big majority in the Republican House. And actually, we had a supermajority once the session got started because of two defectors from the Democrats. We had 101 to 49. That's a pretty big margin. But we could not get conservative bills passed. That makes no sense to me. We did get voter ID bill. We got the sonogram bill. But we couldn't get the sanctuary bill. We couldn't get any immigration bills. There were many things that were either killed by the leadership or they were dead in the Senate. That's no way to run the greatest state in this nation. You know, my opponent is one of the elite, the political elite in Austin. He's been there since 1998. He was heir apparent to Mike Jackson when he moved from the House to the Senate. And indeed, his first term, he was a 95% conservative. By anyone's ranking, that's an awesome ranking. However, every year since then, he's become more and more moderate. The Texas conservatives, the young conservatives of Texas, a group that was founded by Steve Munisteri, who's now the Republican chair of Texas. Well, this past session, they gave John Davis a 62%. So I think that is going in the wrong trend. During the recent debates, Mr. Davis and I talked about what we need to do for Texas. The gas tax came up. Mr. Davis is in favor of raising the gas tax. And the reason was, and I quote, because we haven't raised that in 20 years, I think we need to take a look at it. You know what? I don't think so. Because we take 40% of that gas tax and we divert it into all kinds of things, like the arts, things that have nothing to do with transportation, nothing to do with our roads. If we would keep 100% of that in transportation or DPS, we wouldn't need to raise that gas tax. So let's end the diversions. Mr. Davis has nothing but praise for Joe Strauss. He has stated publicly He has stated publicly that he supports him and he thinks he's a fine man, and he will support him again. Now, for those of you that don't know, Mr. Strauss became Speaker of the House when 50 Democrats and 11 Republicans had a coup and got rid of the former Speaker. So I don't think that sounds like a conservative speaker that we need to be backing when the Democrats put them in so they can get their agenda passed. No way.
Strauss is a Democrat.
Also, you may notice around Texas, we're getting more and more and more toll roads. The Grand Parkway is a major toll road. They're trying now to make 288 a toll. And they're also offering HOV lane for single riders. I don't have any problem with that. If people want to pay to ride the HOV lane, that's a choice. But when you start making our current roads into toll roads without anyone ever voting for it, I think that's wrong. Now, if elected, I will have a top 10 conservative rating in the House. I will not be able to be co-opted by the good old boys and others like Heidi Teese running in District 24. They will make sure we will hold each other to the line just like I know every one of you will. And also my husband Dale. He will be right there. He will make sure. Now, as I leave you today, I just want to touch again on the most important issue that I think is facing Texas, and that's our budget. Our fiscal house is not in order. The Texas legislature. Woo! Everybody move in towards the middle.
Start talking about the budget.
Huh?
See what happens when you start talking about the budget?
You know, when the Texas legislature goes back into session, they're looking at over a $7 billion deficit because they pretended they balanced the budget. And also Medicaid is going to add $15 to $17 billion. When they go back into session January 2013, we're looking at a minimum of a $22 billion deficit. Where do you think they're going to make that money up? There's only $7 billion in the rainy day fund. There's not enough money to cover it. So I say, is it reasonable to ask, where are the people's representatives that need to get our fiscal house in order? Will you be satisfied with the same politicians who claim to be conservative, but they continue to vote for spending beyond our means? The same politicians who sat there over the last 10 years as Medicaid costs jumped 113%. The same legislators who ever saw education spending consume 60% of our budget. And the same incumbents that managed a state budget that increased 300%, but our population only grew 50%. That makes no sense, guys. Albert Einstein once said the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over. Well, I contend if you keep voting for the same politicians over and over, and you expect them to act differently, you expect them to act like a patriot and vote like a patriot, Albert may wonder what's wrong with our state of mind. So if you want a representative to vote like a patriot, I'm that patriot. And if you want a representative who will make the tough choices, the right choices for Texas, I'm that conservative. So let me be your voice. Come to Austin with me. I'm Mary Huls, and I want to be your state rep.